Ian Maddox with the Retirement Center. Tonight, we have an opportunity to speak with Susanne Dement, who worked with the Social Security Administration for many years. Her particular expertise is disability, and we want to ask her one important question. Thanks for being with us, Susanne.
Thank you.
How are you this evening?
Here. Just fine.
Good. I know that folks all over the country have to deal with, unfortunately, with issues of disability. People right here in Hoover and surrounding areas, our clients, even in some cases, we have a number of them that are on disability. What is the biggest mistake that you see folks running into when they file for disability?
Well, one of the first things that I see is people go in and one of the first questions they're asked about disability is, when did you become disabled? Well, I'm not sure, or whatever they say, it's the first thing that's put down. Some people, I find they have become disabled months prior, and Social Security can go back 12 months from the time you file for disability. Some people may have worked during some of that time, but they were slowing down because they were becoming disabled and could no longer do their jobs, or the employer was subsidizing their work and helping them out. And so they can be paid based on subsidies, based on lower earnings. We have to go back and look at all of that. Work issues become a big factor many times, and lots of times it's your medical history. If you've had a longitudinal history with a physician or with a group of doctors, it's much easier to develop that disability.
Can you explain to our viewers what a longitudinal history would be?
Well, if you've seen a doctor one time,
okay.
That's not.
We're talking about over a span of time.
Over a span
okay.
of time.
Okay.
A person that just maybe they've got back problems, and now there's herniated disc.
It's accelerated over time.
Accelerated, but you want to always develop that history. To show that this didn't just start now.
Right.
It's something that's built its way up, and as you build that history, you determine when they could no longer do any type of work at all.
So along those lines, what I think I'm hearing you say is that because folks haven't documented or they haven't followed the process, that's why they run into problems and are often declined, at least initially, for coverage. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And one of the other factors is people file and they get turned down. Well, it's devastating.
Absolutely.
It kind of turns their world upside down a second time, right. And so they just let it go because everybody's told them you're not going to get approved. They're going to turn you down. There are at least 3, if not 4, appeals that you can make on disability claim, and you only have 65 days from the date on that letter you get turning you down to file that appeal. So it's very important that people keep up with that and that they file it timely or get someone to help them file it timely.
Susanne, what would you recommend then for folks here in our community, here in Birmingham, to avoid that on the front end? In other words, to increase the probability they're going to get approved on the front end and not have to go through all those hoops on the back end?
Well, you have people that are helping people all the time. Me personally, I deal with people that have been turned down.
Okay.
There are people that will help you with an initial disability claim, but if you can get on your computer and go to ssa.gov,
right.
Click on disability online services and then a disability application, you can do that initial application on your own. Then if you are turned down, yes, I would recommend either getting a non-attorney representative or an attorney to help you, because they kind of know, they can look at your record and see why you were turned down and know what you need to do to build that up.
In other words, that's a situation where an expert stepping in is very applicable.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
That's excellent. Susanne, I appreciate your time.
Thank you so
for being
much.
with us this evening.
Thank you for inviting me.
To learn more about how we think and what we do, you can visit our website at www.retirementcenter.us. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Until next time, Ian Maddox with the Retirement Center.